Okay, here's where it gets interesting. And of course, the longer you can stand these things, the better guitar player you'll be. Oh my God, you don't want to be a better guitar player? Yes, you do. Because there's nothing better than learning an instrument and then being able to play it and enjoy playing it, as opposed to always struggling or feeling like there's something you just didn't know. For instance, the only thing you have to memorize is these shapes. There's a lot to know, but as far as patterns, the only thing you memorize is these shapes and the numbers where they go. So they're intervals. The interval of the 6 to the R, the 3 to the 5. You don't even have to think of the sixth as the sixth. You can think of it just as a six. Okay, think of it as the number 6, and it's going to count, and R is the number 1. Where are these numbers in these boxes? A chimpanzee could do this, okay? And, well, sometimes I can't do it myself. It took me a whole year to practically, internalize. They call it internalize this stuff. Okay, so anyway, I changed the color pattern over here so you can see them marching up the fretboard again. R2, 3, 4, 5, 6. R2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and here's 5, 6, 7. R2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the top 2/3 of that pattern coming in from Zongo onto the fretboard. Here's the pattern on the fretboard. Here's the pattern warping on the fretboard. Here's another. So these are the boundary conditions. The pattern coming into the fretboard here. All right, this is the right hand 2/3 of the pattern coming into the fretboard from Zongo from the left. Then you got the pattern itself on the fretboard, has a little overlap, has the pattern on the fretboard with the warp, okay, that kind of thing. Then you got the pattern coming in again. I colored it a different color. 5, 6, 7. Root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here's one overlapping on the 5, 6, top third of one coming from Zongo underneath. And they just march across the fretboard like that. Fretboard window, I call it. So, where are we? We have the ability to play everything on the right hand side of these nuts. This is like an imaginary guitar. It's like drawing a fret nut here. Here's the regular guitar in C. So that would be an E. Okay, it's backwards. It's a 3. It looks like a backwards E anyway, doesn't it? It kind of really rings a bell inside. Hey, that's an E if it's in the key of C. Then we draw another hypothetical nut. Now forget all this. It doesn't exist. Nothing exists here like that. We'll just cut it out. Nothing exists now. This is our guitar right here. Don't worry about all this stuff. Don't worry about anything past there as far as fret nuts. Now we look at our guitar again. This is our new guitar. Now it's in the key of A, right? So, again, we're at that same crossing point. What does it mean? I get a little confused myself. But I can tell you that, okay, if we want to put that stuff back there, we need to play that A. We need, all right, and starting on root, we need, okay, we want root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root, right? But now, if that's not there, we go root 2. Where's our 3? It's gone. That's the beauty of the longer patterns that I made these patterns. And I figured this out for you, These longer patterns stay to the right of the fret nut. So you get used to playing them. They're not such a mystery anymore. You're not looking for a note anymore. You're playing a pattern. Now this is the 7R. How did we get to that? Once we get to the 5-6 on the top corner of the pattern, of the big pattern, that 5-6 locks us into the 5-6 of our well-known little patterns. And these are the only two you have to know. The 5-6 takes you right into 7R2. What goes on top of that? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7R as usual. Connect them with the numbers, but it has to be warped. Okay? So instead of the 3 being over the 7, because from the 7 to the 3, 7, 8, a 7, root 2, 3 is a perfect fourth. But we warped it. We have to warp it because this string was detuned 1, so we warp it up to make it neutral again. Okay? And that's your S2L right on top there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7R. So that's your new shape for the A if you want to do it that way. Now if I'm on an A, let's say I'm doing I don't know. This would be A, this is D. I'm doing an A-shaped D. Same thing. Here's your A shape. There's D. That's your A-shaped D, right? I can go and do, I can do it the old way. All right, which would be 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root, and then warp. So it would be, I hope I'm right on this, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? You can do it that way, but that's only because I was able to go below the note, to the left of it. All right? I was able to go to the left of it. Right there, I went to the left of it. If we don't want to go to the left of it, we just play the big pattern instead of... Okay, you see the difference? I'm going to do it one more time. Big pattern, little pattern. 2 notes right there to the left of that fret that starts on the 5. So we're going to learn these new patterns here. We're going to learn these new patterns. They're not so bad, believe me. I was scared to death of this thing. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know. I said, there's something. I can't ignore that. It looks like fun to play. Just like this. This looks like fun to play. 4, 5, 6, 7, 4 notes in a row. It sounds like garbage. But guess what? You practically need it if you want to do the Lydian mode, which is the 4th. That's the Lydian mode. I know all the modes now. Watch out, I'm dangerous. I can even pronounce them pretty good, but I'll probably make mistakes. So, anyway, where were we? Let's go over to the other chart now. Let's see if we can go to forward to the next chart, because we've got to move on in this lesson. I don't know if this is going to be part of this lesson. We'll just do we'll make this the last segment, and we'll just do a little introduction, and this will be on the next lesson. Okay, here we have the same things that we learned. This is in summary. The S3S stack of 3 short. Right here is our basic pattern. It's a Dorian pattern because it starts on the 2. Then we have our S2L, our stack of 2 long. This is a Phrygian pattern. It's a minor that starts on the 3rd. It's the only minor that has a half step right after the tonic of that minor. And then we have our big guys up here, Mixolydian, Ionian, and